Is it recording? Okay. Hello everyone, welcome to your May 2025 astrological forecast. So the month starts off with the sun still in Taurus up until the 20th. And on the 4th we have a planet going retrograde, which is Pluto. Okay, everything else is in direct motion. On the 10th, Mercury moves into Taurus. On the 12th, there's a full moon in Scorpio. On the 20th, the sun moves into Gemini. On the 24th, Saturn moves into Aries. And I do have to say, you know, Neptune moved into Aries last month. I'm sorry. There, I had to use my computer, okay, to record. My camera is really screwing up, so please bear with me. You'll see on some of the other videos, they're like totally out of focus, so please just ignore that. Anyway, Neptune just moved into Aries, and Saturn also moves into Aries on the 24th, giving Pisces a little break, okay, over the summer at least. Both of these planets will move back into Pisces to finish up their transit there. And then next year, they'll fully move into Aries. But for this summer, for like a few months, both of these planets are going to be in Aries. So, you know, Pisces gets a break, and even Virgo, as far as that goes, the opposite sign of Pisces. So on the 25th, Mercury is in Gemini, and on the 26th, there's a new moon in Gemini, and all month, Venus is in Aries, and Mars is in Leo, okay? So, thank you so much. Special shout out to my subscribers for your continued support, for your likes and shares and comments, and if you're new to my channel and you like this video, be sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. You'll be notified each time I upload something. You can also check out the links in the description box below. There is one to my website, but it is easier to just email me at Zane's Zodiac .com. I'm sorry, Zane Zodiac at gmail.com. Okay. And just ask me whatever it is you would like to know, whatever service, you know, do I offer this service or that service or whatever. And there's also a thing called Ask Me a Question, which is for those of you who only want to know maybe one or two things about your chart. And also, don't forget to check out my weekly forecast, which is now daily shorts. And now for your forecast. Hi, Pisces. So before I begin, I have to point out that I had to switch cameras, and please forgive me for like squinting or whatever, but lighting, it's like so close to me. Usually it's pretty far away, but anyways, it's affecting my eyes. Okay. So please just ignore me if I'm like squinting. Okay. Anyway, so I guess I'd have to say the good news for you this month is Saturn is leaving your sign briefly, okay? It's moving into Aries on the 24th, and Neptune left you last month. So you don't have either one of these planets. You don't have any planets in your sign for the first time in like years. Neptune, your ruling planet, takes very long to get through each sign. So, but you do have to remember it will be returning to Pisces to finish its transit in your sign, and then it will fully move into Aries like next year. Okay, but you get the summer off, kind of, you know. I would have to say that you or Virgo would be the ones to maybe notice a difference. You might not, but you might feel a little bit more lighthearted. Okay, maybe not so weighed down by depressing things or depressing people, circumstances, anything like that. You know, you may wake up one morning and just feel like your old self again, more or less, okay? But anyways, for now, Okay, so this month the sun is in Taurus up until the 20th, then it will move into Gemini. Taurus is on your third house, okay? Mercury moves here on the 10th, and it's moving very, very fast, okay? It's in Taurus from the 10th to the 25th, and it moves into Gemini, okay? And the planet Uranus is still in Taurus. So all this is happening in your third house of your everyday life. The people and places you would encounter throughout the normal course of your day, your neighbors, your neighborhood, your siblings, your cousins. This is the house of all forms of communication, including regular postal mail and local travel, okay, like a day trip, overnight trip, weekend trip, and usually a road trip. Okay, so having Mercury here, you might find that because it is moving fast, you might be doing an awful lot of running around your own neighborhood, even if it's just getting errands done. But you may find that you've had an awful lot of contact with people in your neighborhood, or even just like regular, you're on the receiving and sending end of communications. You may have received a little bit more mail than usual, regular postal mail. But yeah, you may find that when Mercury leaves here that you've had an awful lot of conversations with people, maybe that you haven't spoken to in a while. And yeah, again, you may just take that little trip, even like I said, if it's a day trip, even to like a museum or something or other, amusement park, whatever. But with the sun here, you know, you do feel like, whatever, the third house is the written word, so you could be writing something, you know, even if it's a journal. That could be something that you've started maybe over the past few years, or maybe even just recently. Whatever, you know, with the planet Uranus here, though, still has a lot of unpredictability within your everyday life, okay? It too, Uranus too, will be moving briefly in June or July into Gemini. And so everybody will get a break there too, but it will move back into Taurus. It also has to finish up its transit there, and then it will fully move into Gemini next year. Okay, so all these planets are moving, major planets. So, you know, I would just have to say that you're doing more things at this time, up until the 20th, within your own area, within your neighborhood, more contact with neighbors and siblings. So then the sun does move into Gemini on the 20th, and Mercury moves here on the 25th. New moon in Gemini on the 26th, and Jupiter is still in Gemini in your fourth house, where you have the sign of Gemini. Your fourth house being your home and family, where you physically live and the property surrounding it. Your private life, your past, your childhood, the foundation of how you were raised, anyone you live with, okay, your family. So a new moon here will bring a new beginning in this area. Now, having Jupiter here since last year should have brought maybe, you know, opportunities to do more with your home. Either you're remodeling it, big time remodel, or you're moving, you're purchasing another home, or you're selling your home. You're making some kind of changes there. You may have even welcomed like a new person. Could be a roommate, could be you know, a family member that has come to live with you. Could even be somebody from your past or your childhood. I hope that didn't show up on screen. This is so much fun. Okay. I'm used to using a regular camera, okay. Computers. Anyway, so, you know, you could, like Jupiter, wherever it's transiting, brings you good fortune. So it could be something. There could even be, I do tell a lot of people to search the property around your home. Even if you live in an apartment, look within the apartment, in storage areas. Just check everything out from like the previous people who have lived there before you may have left something behind, or there is just something about where you physically live that it could be like a bit of a treasure hunt, you know. You may find stuff there that has been there for like years and years, and because of that, the fact that it's so old, it could be worth quite a bit of money. If you are moving into a new home or something like that, check the attic, check everything. Check the grounds though, you know, I want to say dig for buried treasure. But, you know, that's actually something that maybe somebody would tell you about, like before you move in, or maybe even running into a neighbor that can tell you a little bit about more where you live, even though you've lived there for years. They may be able to tell you stuff about your place that you didn't know about. Okay. So also, let's see here. I do have to mention Saturn will still be in your sign up until the 24th. Okay, it doesn't move until the 24th. It's not going to be immediate. I really doubt it if you'll notice it right away. But you know, I just feel, you know, because you've had this Saturn in your sign for a couple years now, that it will be a breath of fresh air when it leaves, okay? I do have to mention, though, there's a full moon, sorry, in Scorpio. I forgot to mention this, okay? It's in your 9th house. It's directly across from your 3rd house of Taurus, okay? 9th house is long-distance travel and communications, foreign countries, people, languages, higher learning, legal matters, your spiritual and religious beliefs. It's the house of adventure, many, many things. So both of these houses are travel houses, and they are internet houses. They're social media houses, you know. This could even happen like online. Okay, you could be, you know, in contact with anyone actually who lives at a distance, possibly even in another country, or they're just from a different background than yours, a different culture, different educational background even, where you may not hold the same opinion as someone that you're talking with, okay? Could even be like a neighbor that is like a real pain, you know, they're always right, they know more than you do, they have a better education than you, blah, blah, blah. Like one of those kind of people, you know. So this may be one of those times where you just end that conversation, or just tell them. You're not telling them off, you're just informing them, actually, of, you know, whatever. You're speaking up. Whereas in the past, you might have just let this person slide. You may want to give them a piece of your mind in a way, but you might want to let them know a little bit about yourself and how you more than likely know more about whatever in certain areas also. So it's almost like putting the neighborhood bully or something in their place, okay? So the best time to do something each month is when the moon is in your own sign, and the moon is in Pisces on the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. The best time to lay low is when the moon is in your opposite sign, and your opposite sign is Virgo, and those dates are the 5th, 6th, and 7th. The best time for romance, recreation, creativity, fun, gambling or speculation, and anything to do with children is the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 15th, 16th, 17th, 28th, 29th, and 30th. The best time for money is the 8th, 9th, 10th, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. The best time for your career is the 13th, 14th, and 15th. And the best time for communication and travel is the 10th, 11th, 12th, 24th, 25th, and 26th. So I hope you enjoyed your forecast for May. Be sure to check out my weekly forecasts, which are now daily shorts. See ya!